Can I get a motion to accept the minutes?
So moved.
John, second.
Chris.
Chris jumped in.
Chris, all in favor?
Aye.
Take charge.
Okay. A building inspector is not gonna be here tonight, but you do have a,
Yes, he had to do a grant presentation in Fremont. He's still working on the fees, and he said Dollar General is moving along nicely. The fire department, Jeff Fire Department, it requested they wanna put a standpipe in on Jim Houston's property there, and apparently he approved it, so it'll be just like going by my house down here. And that was his whole.
Where's the sandpipe?
Yeah, they're gonna put one in.
Houston's property, they're gonna
on
put
Jimmy
it on.
Houston's property down at.
I think so they
Oh.
can get to Dollar General or places like that.
Oh,
should they
right
need
across
to.
from
Right there in this little park,
Yeah.
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 Just like the one next to the gazebo.
Gazebo.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's a standpipe just
yeah,
above the
right,
gazebo.
yeah.
Pretty soon we'll have more standpipes coming out. Fire hydrant.
Well, they do in the winter time. For free, don't they?
You've got the fire hydrant.
The fire hydrants and Jeff, they don't count on them.
I'm gonna need you and Tess.
They'll collapse the whole damn water system.
That's probably.
No, they go over the mill pond,
Yeah.
break the ice,
I have to make a note of
throw a
that too.
filter in, and load up.
Well, they got they used to have a spot right behind Peck's too, behind the firehouse.
Oh, and you know what, I gotta
Well,
ask your
right-
opinion of something before.
Right in the back of the church.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a polling spot right off the Tex Park. Whichever one they can break the ice on, that's the one that goes to.
It's gonna have to be bargained.
Other times of the year, if they have water enough. And dry times of the year, they don't even have water to throw out.
All right, it's true. Well, yes. So next, I'm sorry, folks, the next report will be from the Test Town Clerk.
Okay.
Yes, they are.
May receipts total $1,631.60, with $1546.10 turned over to the supervisor. And of that, $1,242.60 was building fees. I received my abstract of settlement from the county, it balanced to zero for the 17th year in a row. And I gave the supervisor a check in the amount of $10,034.97, which is the interest and penalties. Yesterday, today, one of those days, we received a copy of the DEC permit for Jeff Sanitation Solid Waste Transfer Station. Next month, I'll be getting the editorial and legal analysis from General Code. This is about the grant I got, and all the work has to be done by mid-August. So, I'm hoping you guys will accommodate me, and if we need to hold a couple of work group meetings that we could to review everything, we can, because we all have to look at it. First, I'll have the department heads look at their sections. There's assessment sections, there's building sections, and things like that. And then we'll get together with you guys. So I'll go through everything, and department heads will, and then we'll come to you. And the only other thing I have is a request for a letter of support. My second job is Rose Haven Alpacas, as most of you know, and they're up on 164. I'm helping them write a CFA grant for a fiber mill, where they can process fiber from alpacas and other animals, to lower their production costs. And they're gonna locate the mill in Bethel, and it can be, they plan on a co-op where the small farms can all put their fiber together, and because a lot of the commercial establishments that make yarn and other things want 100-pound bales. Well, that's a lot of fiber. So if the farms can join together and put all their fiber in their color, because it has to be separated by color as well, then it'll be cheaper for all of them to process their yarn. And since Rosehaven is located in the town of Delaware, I wondered if the town board would consider a letter of support for them to expand their agribusiness.
I mean, for the grant.
Yes, for my CFA.
Where, is this the one up by the Villa Roma?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Used to be,
Bufflin's and
Mel's.
Olson's.
yeah, okay.
So, anyway, I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm gathering letters
We,
of support.
yeah, I mean, we've had letters of support for other grant applications. So, I mean, I don't know anybody,
Any encouragements for expansion of business is fine with me.
Yeah. So, we don't need to do a resolution, we can just do the letter, right? Do we need a resolution
I
to
don't
do
think
a
so.
letter or what?
No.
I think as long as the minutes reflect that that the consensus of the board is that a letter of support can be sent.
Okay, I'll write it.
Make sure it says what you want.
Let me just add, I think this is a very good thing because it's definitely a growing sector of our agricultural economy.
I think so too.
Very much
and
so.
There'll be jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of exciting actually. So, and, CCE, everybody, all the agricultural factions are interested in.
Well, how many alpaca farms do we have around here?
5,
Yeah.
there's 5.
And
It's
they
all
make that
county.
much wool or whatever?
Well, they have 100 and some of them up there. Kara has how many? 50 or more. Patty Ludwig and Coshecton has a pretty good herd. Denise and Ed and Imagine Alpacas, I don't know how many they have, and
They're
there's
smaller, but.
one more.
So how
There's
many-
one out in Bethel, isn't it out in Herd Road?
No, they're not there anymore.
So what are you talking about, 100-pound bales? How many bales are they making a year? You talking a couple tons or?
You know, I don't know, Al.
You know, they're looking for-
I'm sure it's not that much, but I
No,
don't know.
depends on the size of the herd.
Nature's
Yeah.
over there, so they only, there's one or two.
And why are they establishing this collection point in the town of Bethel?
Because they weren't able to find anything in the town of Delaware. They looked here first, they looked at that Lutheran church, and found out that the house wasn't assessed, and that was gonna be assessed, and it was gonna cost twice as much for that, and so, the town of Bethel was where they were able to find a location.
So basically, they just need a warehouse with a baler.
No, because it's not just gonna be that, Al, they're also going to process some of the fiber there. They have some machines, and the CFA grant is to purchase a couple of
sweaters.
other machines, so they can do things with some of that fiber.
Okay.
Sorry. So, anyway, I have a lot of information
We'll
on
do
it.
we'll get a letter of support.
If you'd like it, I do have quite a bit of information.
I mean, I got nothing against it, I'm just, you know, is this all worth the effort? But that's
Well,
up
that
to them.
remains to be seen, cause the
Yeah.
Empire State Development grants cover like 20% of a project, so I hope it's worth it, yeah.
Yeah.
And it'll create some jobs, and it'll be a new, new venture, so. Anyway,
Okay, you done, Tess?
I guess
Okay.
so, unless anybody else.
Next up is Bill, Highway Superintendent. I know you have a couple things you.
Yeah, the first thing we have to do is go to bid for fuel oil for the building and diesel fuel for the trucks. Which,
For next month's meeting?
for next month's meeting, Ken, you know how to,
Yeah, we have a set of specs we can come up with.
I looked, I don't have a thing, I've looked.
Let me see what I got.
Well, how did we do it in the past?
Well-
We got specs.
Yeah,
We got specs, I mean, I just don't have a copy of
Last
them.
time we did it.
I dug through the whole thing like the other day.
We'll put it together.
I must have some.
You need a date and time for the bid opening.
Yeah.
You wanna do
Whatever
that,
the
you wanna
next
do that,
meeting
you wanna do that at the meeting, or you wanna do it
Well,
sometime before the meeting?
how much time do we have? We got.
We only gotta advertise it 5 days before the bid opening.
In July,
So why don't we advertise it for the next meeting?
You wanna do it for now, okay?
So it's July 8th.
8th,
It's July 8th.
6:45, something like
Usually
that?
it's like a 5-minute
that-
thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 6.
Well,
Is that okay?
my only
Do you need
suggestion
to
was
before
open
that?
it the day before the meeting in the town clerk's office, and that way you can put it all together, and you've got the information at the board meeting. You have to sit
Okay.
there
Last one.
with the envelope, you know, the winner is.
Okay,
So what do
so
you
we'll
wanna
open
do?
it the day before,
Yeah.
the meeting, and
Award on
then we can award it at the meeting.
So, Bill, what do you wanna do, 10 o'clock or something?
Whatever's convenient for you people.
10 AM on the 7th.
Actually, you don't need me to be here for that, I mean, that's.
Okay.
All right, then the second thing is, our surplus equipment that was on Auctions International, the whole group of stuff brought $25,511. If the board wants us to let it go, I'll finish up with Mark.
I have a question, and that is, I talked to Tommy today,
Tommy.
Bose.
Yeah, and they were looking towards the grader.
They're interested, they have an interest in the grader.
Well, they still can, I mean, cause you can decline it.
We can decline that bid and sell it to them.
I
Okay.
thought about declining it and keeping it for myself, really, but, you know, I gotta ponder on this a little bit. A day or two.
How do you feel that the bids that came in?
Well, I got phone calls from Vermont, Massachusetts, Buffalo, all over the country. So you'll never do any better in the local paper or paper.
Right,
I believe you got the best you're gonna get.
go to the highest bidder.
Yeah, well, we have to decide, as far as the town of Calhoun and that, I mean, 7,900, I think, was a high bidder.
Right.
So Tommy told me, I mean, I have no knowledge of the specifics, but, and the way I understand it, they would be willing to bid, 7901.
Right, was.
So, the other thing is that we wouldn't have to pay a commission
I don't know what.
if we took that out. I don't know, we should check on that.
There was a 10% buyer's fee, but I don't remember how all it.
Yeah, we should check on that, make sure that it's not gonna cost us 10% to sell it to Calhoun.
Right.
You can check, I think they structured it, the buyer pays the.
Yeah, we know, the buyer pays that, but
Yeah.
my computer's on the blitz, it got some kind of virus, so I'll have to get a hold of Mark on the phone and I might just let him, in
Okay.
good faith, do everything, you know what I mean? Because we're gonna start paving tomorrow and I just don't have time to.
All right, but that's a good thing, I mean, we got $25,000 roughly,
Well,
rather than have it sit around rusting.
It'll put a wing on the tandem and it'll,
Yeah.
I'm sure it won't hurt it to have it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You got anything else, Bill?
Are you satisfied with it?
Yeah, I mean, what else could you do? You put it on one of the biggest
Right.
websites there is, and that's what you got. I mean, you can decline it, whatever you would like.
Yeah.
Do you do better at auction rather than selling it to metal collection?
Oh, I would say so, cause right now price of scrap is down. I mean, that pile of scrap junk we got in the back, they gave us $910 for it. I mean, I could have the guys load it on the truck and you might get 1,500, but is it worth all the time of loading it, trucking it? You know, I'm not saying you'd even get 1,500. I don't know what the price of scrap is other than it's way down.
All right.
All right, and then tomorrow we're gonna start paving, so Fulton Hill, Mesmer Road, and then Tower Road down there. And from there, I'll tell you better in the next meeting.
Well, you're not gonna be done at the next meeting, but
Well, we'll be done paving and everything. I would assume we should know, what we're doing with the equipment. We should have some money by then, I would think. I would hope.
I just wanted to mention, Bill, that spot over there, if we can get that paved.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do, I mean, we just gotta, everybody's in the world of crap now with this paving business, because there used to be one company did it, now there's 3 or 4, and all 3 or 4 are trying to do it at once, and there ain't enough trucks to go around, so it hasn't been a pleasure.
Sudco doing it again?
Sudco, yeah, but there's Gorman, Gorman, Vestal. It's getting out of hand.
Okay, anything else? Renee, I saw you here.
He's searching.
Yeah, we had a relatively quiet grievance day. We had 5 grievances and 3 corrections. So I should be finishing up the final roll in the next few days. I have about another half dozen more deeds that came in that have to go on the roll. So that will be finished soon, and that's
Okay.
about it.
And everything else going good?
We're still mailing out data,
Collections?
inventory sheets, and I'll have to send out second notices. Some people haven't responded. And then pretty soon I'll start working on commercial properties.
So what happens if they don't respond? What do you do?
Then I
Just
go with
kinda-
whatever we have,
You have,
our best estimate, so.
because I'm sure some people are probably scared to to fill them out and send them back.
Incidentally, my mind and recollection of names is bad, but somebody approached me here just recently in the last couple of days, saying what good cooperation they had with you on whatever problem it was.
I've had compliments on the professionalism of our assessor's
yeah.
office before. I should have told you that.
Thank
It
you.
was very positive.
Okay, next item is grant updates. I spent a lot of time on this. Just mention a few things. You know, we're gonna have a sidewalk, and we've been approved for a grant, and the town engineer is gonna be very shortly getting us the specs for that sidewalk on Upper Main Street, primarily, and a little other, a couple of other areas. If there's any money he feels is left over, we're gonna do some little other work, okay? It's a $50,000 grant, so it's kinda limited to what we can do. The other grant that I'm working on, of course, is the railroad crossing. And it's kind of a bear of a grant, because in this particular sense, the contract, we're the GC in this, and we have to find a minority, a woman-owned paving company, because that's the only other work that the railroad's not doing. And it's been a bit of a bear, and Tess, I think, would, she knows about it, but and it's hard. You know, we've contacted one, where was that one that,
Mohegan Lake,
huh?
there's Mohegan Lake. there's
Mohegan Lake,
another
I don't even know where that is, but it's in Orange County someplace.
Westchester County.
Westchester?
Mohegan?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so he says, yeah, we'll come up, it's gonna cost you more,
Sullivan County and Forestburg.
you know.
That's Mohegan. There's Mohegan and Mohegan.
Oh, this is not down that, the other, this is the different. And it's, you know, and it is a qualified, certified
MBE.
MBE, there you guys are that good.
MWBE.
Company, but to try to find one, to do, this is approximately $30,000 worth of work, so they all say, we're gonna charge, you know, for us to come way up there, a $30,000 job's gonna cost you a lot more money. I'm sure it costs them $5,000 to move their equipment, doesn't it? There's one in Syracuse too, there's some of them, there's a lot of them downstate in the city. But we have, we've made some progress, and we might have one out of Binghamton that will subcontract to a local paper. I'm trying to get around it that way, that's where we are now.
It's been a challenge.
Huh?
It's been a challenge.
It has been.
That's the only minority they'll accept?
Yeah, that's what they want. They want the WB, they want that WMB, whatever that.
They always have since back in the
30%.
80s.
Well, you remember they used to be, remember Ladies in Paving? It was Johnny Burness's company. They've disbanded that.
I can tell you all
I
You ought to
think,
go to the paving business, Tess.
I guess I should.
but.
You've done due diligence in that search.
Oh, yeah, I've been, you know, been on the phone, and we found some that were in the state, and we called them, and, you know, some of them say, you kidding? Where the hell is Calhoun? You know, I mean, that's what they tell you. And,
There's one in Ellenville. That's another, you know, we can find a couple.
But what I have to do is make notes and try to identify what we did, when we called them, and who we
Yeah.
spoke to, and so. But we do have, we do possibly have something cooking out of Binghamton. So, but all the rest of that job is done by the railroad, and there are no minority. They wanted, they asked a list of minority workers. Well, they got 14 people, 2 administration, 12 laborers, and they're all white males. We don't hire women. You know, it's the railroad, you know, I mean, that's the way they do it.
So the onus for obtaining a
Getting the
gender
grant
correct
contract on is
and
on us.
minority is on us.
Yes. We wanna get it
Because
done,
they don't have it.
The price of political
And she said it
correctness.
wasn't gonna change. She said, that's what we have, and it's not gonna be any
And
different.
chances are, when you do it, the Department of Labor will be around too to make sure.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
So-
Yep.
And we're also working on some other grants, but, I mean, I don't really have anything definitive, so. Energy Committee, now, the Energy Committee, actually Isaac was part of that, but I don't, that's kind of, let's kind of put it on the side for now until we have a place where we can put a array, is that what they call it?
Array,
Array.
solar array.
So there's nothing to report there. Calhoun Park Committee, they're not here. But you know, I did notice that the UDC rep came tonight.
Oh. Hey!
So Harold, what have you got for us?
Well, you know,
It's still in color too.
now, I know, I realize you didn't get this too much, but don't hyperventilate. Went over for a test also. Just so that you can see, and you guys can see, that the water is right below the median,
Back
the
up.
long-term median. Back up. Okay, I backed up and you said
No,
back
this
up.
is back up. This is back up to new heights.
How far?
Don't go one
You don't have to sit on Bill's lap.
Okay, Bill. Anyhow, there's plenty of water there. As you may have read in the papers, there's been some complaint about the temperature of the water in May. And we had somebody from the DRBC tell us a little bit about it. There's probably two causes. First of all, one in their FFMP, which has to do with the flow management of the waters. They never thought that May would be a month in which was so dry and they didn't have anything, so they had no way of controlling it. And the other big onion in this ointment is New York City. They're concerned with drought. They don't care about much of anything else, so they're not going to release a lot and so forth. So maybe when they start working on updating the FFMP, they will consider of changing that type of thing. So we're pretty good with the water as it is right now. Just a reminder, the UDC technical assistant grants are they're the 28th. They got to apply by the 28th, and I presume you're going to.
I didn't get that, okay.
Okay, I'll send that
Well,
over.
probably I'll get it,
Is that for the second half of the?
yes.
Yeah, so you're probably gonna take the second half of the one we got last
cost
year.
For codification?
Yeah, I would think that it would be a good idea to, you'll probably get that.
Yeah.
What is it, the end of the month?
August
Here,
28th.
you guys can have this, I don't need this. It's the 28th, by the 28th of August. It gives you lots of time, but, you know, time goes by
I
really
do know.
fast.
I do know.
Just for your information, you folks who happen to be, like to do some photography, the Upper Delaware Centennial Celebration Photo Contest begins. That's from the National Park Service. Yeah, it runs from June 1st to October 31st. Photos can be submitted by anyone over the age of 13 in 4 categories: scenery, plants and animals, recreation, and youth. Youth must be under the age of 18, but the photography may represent any of the designated categories. Only digital photography. They don't want film anymore. And there will be prizes, $100, $50, $25, and so forth. You can contact the National Park Service for that. I don't know if you got that test, but I'll just send that on down too. We talked about the water, the hot water. What was there? Oh, in case anybody has a real interest in bats, on the 13th, down at the Roebling Bridge on the Pennsylvania side at 8 p.m. on the 13th, there's going to be a whole thing about local bats, and they will have the machinery and so forth where it'll run from 8 to 9:30, and by that time the bats come out, and they have machines that can actually capture their calls so that you can hear what it's like, and they utilize this to find out as much as they can about the bats. So just as a joke, you could ask them if you go down there, if they'll give you a bumper sticker says that "Go Bats." That would be fun.
What date was that?
13th, that's Saturday, isn't it?
They got some snakes too.
Yeah, 30. The UDC itself, we have project for outside consultant services, and we had some money left over, so we made a whole list of things that we may be able to spend the money on, and it came that the first thing would be upgrade the website, and that reminds me, our website still has my name on there as a council
Oh, my
person.
goodness. Okay.
So, All right, records management would be the second, and GIS map of land use changes. That would be interesting to see land use changes over a period of time, what's happening there. Then there was other things down there, but those things, we're gonna try to get some estimates as to what that would be. And I guess that's it. Anybody have any questions? Okay, go back.
Okay, you know, I kind of report on what the stuff that I was working on, so I don't have much of a report unless somebody has a question that they want from me. I wanted to say that we do have a little bit of new business here, but I'm gonna ask to go into executive session on a matter of employee benefits for the union employees, and just to speak with you guys, so about that briefly. Next item is council comment. You guys got any comments or anything, any questions or anything you wanna say? And we don't have any old business, but we have some new business. And that is the changing, no, not changing the name, adding the name of Sunset Lane. Now, Tess, you have the location and all
It's
that?
up off of Gable Road, right, Renee?
It's on Gable Road,
Yeah.
about a half mile off of 164 on the left.
Uh-huh.
There's a new house under construction, and since it's the third house on that right of way, the county requires that it have a name.
Wasn't that the old Hubbard Road?
No,
No.
no,
Behind
By
Len Gables there?
Tyson's?
It's
no.
not that far down.
No.
Where Tyson's live?
You know where
Oh, not,
Durham
not
back had
that
the
Gable
farm,
Road.
Joe Boyle?
Yeah.
You know where, where Jack Sattler lived, where
Before Bedford.
Nicoletti lived there, Pizzacco lived across the road. Luke
Yeah.
Pizzacco. Bob White, Luke Pizzacco.
Yeah,
Okay.
Past Overlook.
That's overlooked, but it's
Past
right
Overlook on the
this
left.
next one up on the right.
On the left.
Oh, it's on the left.
It's on the left. Where,
And that was actually, I mean, that was just a road in there, but we didn't have a name,
It was a right of way.
it was a right of way.
Off of
So,
Gable
and this
Road,
is, we're not,
past where Eric lives there, the next one
I
down?
guess they were all in
Oh,
agreement.
okay, I'm on the other end of the road.
yeah, now this, we're not taking this over, it's just,
No.
It's a
we're
private
just
road, but it has to be
agreeing it's a
named for
private
911
road
purposes.
to a name.
For 911.
I make a motion that we accept the name of Sunset
Lane.
Lane.
I'll second it.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Listen, I do have one thing, I wanted to, I got this from the IDA, of course, you know I'm a member of the IDA. The New York Central Railroad pilot is concluded. So, in other words, instead of them paying a pilot payment in lieu of taxes, they are back on the tax rolls on a regular basis now. Okay? I don't think it's gonna make any difference what they pay very much at this point.
Now, who's this now, the New
The
York?
New York Central Railroad, the railroad goes through.
Oh,
See, that was a pilot program, that was an IDA program, it was just 10 years and it's over now, and I
Oh,
think it was
okay.
10, maybe
All right.
15. It's over.
Oh, renewal.
So, okay, now, next, any public comment?
I have a question. Is there any update on the project, the river access project?
I don't have any updates. Well, I did some work on it, but I worked on it, but I have no real updates. All I can say is it's moving along, kind of slow, but it has to be, as far as the CFA grant application, it has to be in by the end of July. So it's a lot of moving parts on that, by the way, Isaac. That's one of the reasons why it's so slow.
Thank you.
But we'll get it done.
I trust you.
So, again, there's no public comment? Okay. The can I get a motion for a resolution to accept the abstract and pay the bills?
So moved.
Second.
Second by Cindy, moved by John. All those in favor?
Aye.
And the only other thing I should have mentioned, I talked to Kel, before the end of the month, we'll have that bond. Remember, we've been talking about paying off that bond?
Mhm.
We'll have that done. We got, I gotta get a new date, pay off, not a new date, but I gotta pick a date and get a payoff number, and with that, then Tess and I and Kenny have to go to the bank and get it done, so. So now I'd like to go into,
Could I borrow Al for 3 minutes?
No.
Should I?
only if he's good.
Okay.
I make a motion that we go into executive session.
Okay. Take a few minutes for that.
Second?
Good to see you.
Second.